Hi, welcome to Pillar Guidance for our raw material. It is Intention Week this week, the final emotional week. And yes, intentions are emotional. We can't possibly meet all of our intentions. Take a deep breath with that. That's a big exhale. And starting from the space where you realize that that's where you are, everything is a lot more okay than it seemed when you felt like you were scrambling. Some intentions are easy. You're walking through the house, you grab some stuff, it needs to go to the kitchen, you take it to the kitchen. Easy intention, easy pattern to put into your pathway in your own home. Without that, you walk past things all the time that need to go to the room you're going to. And that's an exercise in just watching how we don't maybe use our time as efficiently as we could, just naturally, just the way that we're already moving. Intentions are personal. What I want might not be the same thing that the person next to me wants, and the person next to them wants something entirely differently. We are personality driven. We are emotionally driven. The things that we desire come from within us, or watching someone that we admire have something that we want. This is how our desires form. This is how our intentions form. Letting all of the things kind of come together at once and see which ones you can actually make happen. Intention's a cool space, but it is, again, emotional. It comes from our ideas. It comes from the things that our mentors have taught us, combined with our emotions that get everything stirred up, and we feel like we need to act. When we're in emotion, there's not a lot of action. We're not going to act until we get kind of lined up in the mental or the physical space. It's going to take our architect or our gardener to make something really happen. But the ideas all come in intention. The reason why I'm going over this so much is to drill into that official line of consciousness, what we at our raw material like to call the OLOC, O-L-O-C. And that is the space where we have these really hard and fast beliefs about things that we can't change. So let's talk intention. It is right now the last day of conflict week. And we've been listening all week to cabinet appointments, who's going to be put in what job. Of course, none of these are in place yet, but all of the suggestions coming down seem to indicate a big shift happening, a big change. And no matter what intentions are, we don't know what's actually going to happen. We don't know how it's going to be received. We don't know who's going to get confirmed. We don't know really what we're dealing with yet. But we're stirred up with the emotion of what is possible. So we're smack in the middle of being ready to tomorrow, today, as you see this, enter Intention Week with all of these ideas forming, and where can they go? In America right now, our fight is visceral. It's at a root level. I get that that drives business, but what drives people? And how do we get a unified intention for all of the people in our country, just enough to pull us together to feel supported by the systems that we do have? Intentionally speaking, our country has spoken. And no matter what I personally believe, getting behind the intentions right now is the best use of my personal energy. So as I watch some of these things happen in horror, I try to switch my mindset to something that sees it positively, given how everything has come down. If we don't back up from our intellectual corner and look at what really is, as opposed to what we thought it was or what we wished it would be, and look at what's really, truly going on. We are nearing 250 years of the intentions of this country. What we have right now is way beyond the bounds of what they imagined us to be. I think that's cool. It's scary. It means that the boundaries of what they built are being tested, and they're being tested at every single level. We can let ourselves run away with fear. We can put ourselves down the lines of certain intentions that we believe are going to happen, especially the scary ones, and trace those all the way out, as fearful as we can make them. Or we can take those thoughts, flip them around into the most positive thing we can think of in the ideal playground, work through the other side of our conflict and see a resolution that has us just coming up with creative intentions. It doesn't mean they'll happen. Let your mind go wild. The more ideas you have, the more there is to choose from. At some point, you've got to make a choice. But if you've made your values list a couple weeks ago, it makes it so easy to look at that list and see which intentions to put your energy towards and which not to. So what is this week's challenge? Put your intention to the test. Every time you think of something that you want or something that you want to do, give yourself like a scale of 1 to 10. How realistic is it that you will get this thing done? When you start to see how many intentions, fall under a 3, it's easy to let those slip in and out as thoughts, as things that you want, but things that maybe you're not necessarily lined up to get, or the timing isn't right, or the law doesn't allow those things to be true. I have one friend that plans to murder people a lot in her mind. It's a 1 on her list. She's not really going to do it, and I'd be shocked if she ever did, but she definitely thinks about it a lot. It was a lesson for me in what certain people's intentions are versus others. But I realize in talking to so many people in the sessions that I do, how many people envision something happening right in the moment physically that doesn't happen. Intentionally, our minds go to whatever creative space we let them go. So rein yourself in enough to see where you take your mind so that you can observe it instead of judging it. Intentions are fun. They are born from our emotions. So when you find yourself wanting something, really wanting something, figure out where that desire came from and make sure it attaches to you. If it aligns with your intentions, if you have the resources to make it happen, you absolutely will. This is how manifestation works. Enjoy your week. Happy intentioning. I will be back next week to talk about Resource Week, our final spiritual week. Thank you so much for being here.